Good evening, friends. This side Rahul Magan here is a Group Chief Executive Officer, Treasury Consulting, and also a venture capitalist. Standing on 30th September, I'm going to be shooting a very important video about a topic which is known as immunization. Once again, I got an article in the Indian media, and I'm very pleased to share that this article is absolutely out of woods. You know, now we got an article, but before I start, let me remind you that, like any other YouTube videos, our YouTube videos also having a dialog box which is being provided by YouTube. In this dialog box, there is a link along with a paragraph. You can click the link and you reach to the free groups being maintained by Treasury Consulting. Now, these free groups are absolutely complimentary in nature and you can enjoy them absolutely free of cost. Every bank across the globe, whether it is Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Standard Chartered, UBS, Barclays, HSBC, any bank, any financial institution like BlackRock, Blackstone, maybe bigger than them, they are supposed to have one process, and that too they need to run on a very periodic basis. And as we speak on 30th September 2020, the yesterday debate between Donald Trump and Biden went very well. I don't know, but I was getting a sense that two kids are fighting for a candy. I never expected that both Trump and Biden, who are holding almost 30 years plus, maybe more than that in some case, experience, they were fighting like kids, and this debate was live, and unfortunately the market consensus is right before us that the pre-market exchanges are down, and gold, which before the debate was almost 1900, now it is approximately 1884, and silver is definitely falling. In these tough times, immunization is very important, and we need to run immunization almost on the daily basis. And I'm very happy that the best banks of the globe, like Goldman and all, they are running this almost on the daily basis. And this is one of the reasons why they are the most profitable banks of the globe, and they withstand almost every recession effective 2008, and that too in a pretty nicest way. We got some data, and the data is that the difference between the interest rate which the banks get, because banks get money from somebody, they lend to somebody, and from whom they got the money, they give him or her something known as FD rate or a savings rate. The difference for the private sector bank as at July 2020 is around 4.67%, while in case of public sector bank it is 3.08%, which precisely means there is a difference of 160 basis point, between the private sector and the public sector bank. This is what we got as an information in the public domain. But unfortunately, the media not told us three important things. Rather, they not linked this with three important things. Number one is, of course, insolvency and bankruptcy code. As we clearly understand that the government pushed insolvency and bankruptcy court proceedings for another three months. And guys, we all understand that what would happen after 3 months. Corona is going nowhere. In fact, yesterday in the presidential debate between Trump and Biden, healthcare was a major issue. Having said that, I would rate Trump and Biden both at the same platform, except the handling of Corona by Trump. So definitely the mess is around the corner, and those who are expecting mess just went away. No, not at all. You can clearly see on the Bloomberg and Reuters, mess is around the corner. So insolvency and bankruptcy code for another 3 months, which precisely 31st December. We all know what would happen in 2021. The more we push insolvency and bankruptcy, the more cases would pile up, and resolution is definitely difficult and time consuming. Second issue is the moratorium. Supreme Court not yet decided on the moratorium issue. Supreme Court will definitely take some time. They will evaluate each and every aspect of the case, whether from a bank angle, from a customer angle. So they will definitely evaluate, and they will and this resolution definitely takes some time. So this issue is still hanging on. Third important issue is definitely the existing non-performing assets. Unfortunately, what had happened is that after COVID-19, the non-performing asset issue, which was very much in the newspaper pre-COVID, it is absolutely gone now. So we are expecting that as and when the Supreme Court will take a call on the moratorium issue, this is the only NPA we are having. The previous NPA are zero. So when we get some data, which is the difference between public sector and the private sector bank, whereby private sector bank is around 4.67% and public sector is around 3.08%. Precisely the difference is 160 basis or 1.6%. We should not forget that this would have huge implications covering, of course, number one, the volatility which is happening in the market. Of course, number two, as and when the insolvency and bankruptcy court proceedings would open, banks would face the reality and they need to agree that shall we go ahead declaring this asset as an NPA or not. Number three, of course, the moratorium, as and when the Supreme Court will decide, everyone will get to know. And number four, the existing NPA problem. How fair this 4.6% number, I really do not know. But one important thing is that this difference, 4.67 minus 3.08, as provided by the media, is not letting me know about the immunization. And this message is to the young guns. Guys, not a single Indian bank is reporting immunization. And that is not a fault or the flaw of the Indian banks. I generally criticize banks, but this time I am saving banks. The rationale is very clear. The rationale is that the disclosures which we have made from the regulator side, these disclosures are obsolete in nature. Like I pointed out long ago, a few days ago, that if I am a listed company, why do I need to declare my financial in a newspaper in 2020 when the world is having Twitter, LinkedIn, WhatsApp, YouTube, Instagram, WeChat, and whatnot? Is it TikTok, Takatak, and all these things? Is it really mandatory to spend millions of dollars while giving advertisement in the newspaper? The same information could be provided. You just upload on the internet. People come and download. Let them download. There is no point. That is the main point. Similarly, we need to understand that immunization disclosures should be made mandatory. But this equation that immunization disclosures should make mandatory is having two issues. Number one, how many of us even understand immunization? Which business school is taughting immunization? And are we really interested from our side to learn immunization? And very important too, Big Four. Hey guys, did you go ahead with did you read the GT forensic report on DHFL? We surely have a video in that regard. Even if today I make immunization report mandatory, I'm like any other disclosure, Big Fours will bypass this. And what would be the end result? Oh, this bank is completely safe. And remember, PMC Bank was also safe. Like PMC Bank, Yes Bank was also safe. Diwan Housing was also safe. Infrastructure leasing was also safe, and everything is safe. I think the time has come when all financial institutions, whether they are NBFC or non-NBFC, we should make immunization mandatory. At a same point of time, we should give appropriate training to the young guns via a business school, YouTube videos, or maybe all, to understood immunization. This is 2020 requirement. But before I close, guys, where are we? Gross NPA, net NPA, where RBI himself agreed that a there are many divergences between the way bank report gross NPA and RBI reports gross NPA. This is where we are heading. Thank you very much, and I would like to close my video with my beautiful line, which is relevant of today. Reading business newspaper in 2007 was all about knowledge, but now it is losing knowledge. Media reported only one piece of the coin, which is difference between 4.67 and 3.08. But what media not reported is the linking with immunization and the reporting architecture. Have a good time. Keep watching Hindi media. Thank you.